Adventures of an Ordinary Dad is being brought to you by Dad. Dads against daughters dating. Because hey, there's plenty of time to date after you're married. When my wife and I were married over 20 years ago, I envisioned a bunch of rowdy sons descending from heaven, following me onto the basketball court. Well, it didn't really turn out that way. God didn't send down the basketball team. He sent the cheer squad. Now, 5 daughters later, I've learned some valuable lessons about life in a house full of estrogen. Number 1, listen more than you talk. I find it interesting that the word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. With 5 daughters, silent isn't hard. It's taken me a while to realize that listening and hearing aren't necessarily synonymous. Listening with daughters requires not only turning off ESPN with 2 down in the bottom of the 9th, but also wiping their tears and reassuring them that the dog we found is going to a happy home. Let them talk, let them rant, let them go off on tangents. And when it's over, give them a hug and tell them you love them. Number 2, learn how to live with royalty. Few people know that I married a queen. My wife is the queen of patience. Like it or not, children are going to look at their parents' relationship as a pattern for their own. So dads, if you want better marriages for your children, show them how it works. Treat your wives like the queens they are, in whatever way you can. Number 3, get used to pink. Okay, you just get used to this one. Number 4, it's all about the shoes. All right is not what you're thinking. It's not about getting the shoes, it's about walking in someone else's. The more I understand the world my daughters live in, the more their actions make sense. Now, I still don't get why they walk for hours at the mall for no reason, and they still don't get what a squeeze bunt is. We're different, and that's okay. Just try and step in their shoes for a minute. Preferably not these ones. Number 5, nuke the comparisons. There are no 2 snowflakes or 2 kids alike, so try not to compare one with the other. Celebrate the differences. So as I grab a basketball and head outside, I may trip on a few Barbies. I may walk past one of the million pairs of shoes in our house. And as I clank shot after shot off the rim, I thank God that He didn't send the basketball team. This is one of the first stories I did for KSL. It generated about 180,000 video views, I think 60 or 70,000 page views for the article that was on KSL.com, and then a motherload, pun intended, of comments on people in similar situations. Kind of funny how, kind of interesting rather, how many all-daughter fathers there are out there. I heard from a lot of them. The video eventually went out on FamilyShare.com and their Spanish and Portuguese YouTube channels as well. I had the distinct honor of editing those ones too.
Dios no nos envió al equipo de básquetbol, nos envió a las porristas. Ahora, 5 hijas más tarde, he aprendido algunas lecciones valiosas sobre la vida en una casa llena de estrógeno. Escucha más y habla menos.
One useless bit of trivia is it takes about 1.3 to 1.4 times as long to say something in Spanish on average as it does in English. And Portuguese seemed a little bit longer. Doing the edits on those versions, changing the graphics and putting the voiceover in there, I had to extend the edits. By the end of that, I was pretty sick of hearing of me and seeing me, and interestingly enough, my family says that to me quite a bit. One of the things that I try and do in the stories is just dump a lot of graphics and animation into it, and that probably goes back to when I was an art director. One of the clips that you see in the video is from a spot called the 2013 Honda Estrogen. We are the Johnsons, your everyday typical 5-daughter family. We are constantly in motion, and this is what keeps us in motion. The all-new 2013 Honda Estrogen sports room for the whole family, including the dog, female also. Now available in Barbie pink, 6 outlets for curling irons, and enough space to take the gang on a day trip. Yep, a day trip. The 2013 Honda Estrogen, available now at your local Honda dealers. Day trip. I produced a spec spot for an ad agency on the Honda Odyssey, and when they didn't like the version that I cut, I just kind of customized it to my own family, and ended up getting 40 or 50,000 views too. It was kind of fun. Now the family tree that you see in that video has since changed. 2 of the daughters have gotten married. Great husbands, great sons-in-law, and they love sports. Now, the house that you see in the video is the house that we built 12 years ago. I thought I was so intelligent to put 4 bathrooms in there and 20 amp circuits, and still my daughters have found a way to plug curling irons, hair dryers, and vacuum cleaners into the same outlet and run them all at the same time. The good news there is they know what a breaker box is and how to flip a switch there. The boys that you see at the beginning of this video are the Jensen boys that live just down the street. You'll probably hear more from them. We've got a few athletes in their family that are going to make a name for themselves, I think, as well as a very bright 16-year-old. Stay tuned to hear more from the Jensen brothers. Okay, really. Adventures of an Ordinary Dad is being brought to you by the fine folks at Dealer World and American Fork. Not only can you get your daughters the car they want to drive, but also the car you want them to drive. Tax, title, license, and military approval may be necessary. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. You can hit the buttons at the top of the screen to subscribe, and here's another video off to the side we thought you might be interested in. But as always, thank you for allowing us to share a little bit of fun, fatherhood, and family with you, and have a good day.